Hello everyone, hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over Blackberry Smoke's newest album, You Hear Georgia. Now, I swear I unboxed this on the channel, but I cannot find it for the life of me, which is weird. But anyway, today we're going to review it. Now, I fell in love with this album, well, I love this album, but I fell in love with this band when I heard the song One Horse Town from this masterpiece. Now, this album is absolutely brilliant. This has got Buddy Holly in the middle, apparently. I didn't realise, okay, that happened, but this is a masterpiece of country rock and is my favourite country rock album I've heard. Not that I listen to much country rock. This is one of the only country rock albums I've heard all the way through. But this band, with the lead singer Charlie Starr, and Richard Turner, who also does vocal. They're just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant band. And there's a review for this one already on the channel, which I'll link down below. But this is fantastic. This is their third album from 2012. And I wish I'd heard it back then. I only got into this band this year. And that's when they released You Hear Georgia. This is their latest album. Now, they're talking about Georgia. I love Atlanta and Georgia itself and Tennessee. As you know, I go and see my friend or my we're really close, so I consider her family. And I was going to go see her every year, but I can't because of COVID. Fuck COVID. But she's teaching me to ride, and I rode horses in Tennessee, which is the most adventurous and coolest thing that I've ever done. And that was brilliant. But yeah, the area of Georgia, Tennessee. I've been to Florida. We was with my family, and we went to obviously Orlando and all the theme parks. So I can't really talk about real Florida, but I've been to real Tennessee and real Georgia because Chris lives. Obviously, I'm not going to say where she lives, but she lives out in the sticks, like out in the middle of nowhere, and it is beautiful. I love it. Unfortunately, I'm a city boy. I live in a city. So going out over there, where she's just out in the country, it is just amazing. But anyway, let's talk about the looks. So for a country album, this is absolutely beautiful. I love the American flag typeface. I think it's brilliant. I love the flowers. I'm not sure what they're called. And of course the water tower, which is quintessential. I don't know. That makes me think of, an old American town in some sort of 80s movie. Like the new Ghostbusters that's coming out. That has the same sort of water tower. But anyway, and I love the post stamps on the back with the song listing. But this album's absolutely beautiful. So you got the band and their backup singers. So the best bit, hopefully, is this the one with the... Yeah, cool. I'll try and show you the best I can. I try and need to get it in the light. But it comes on this beautiful crystallized orange vinyl, which is amazing. And the third side is a picture side or an art side. Now, can you see that? It says You Hear Georgia. That's really cool. I love that. Now, as with all picture sides, I must warn you, never, ever, ever play that side with no music on it. Do not forget that it's got no music on it, because it is the worst sound you will ever hear in your life. I cringe whenever I hear it. You might even break your needle, but the sound is just, it's just horrible. Absolutely horrible. But it's just beautiful. I love, records can be absolutely stunning. I absolutely adore that. And the state itself is amazing as well. Going up the Smoky Mountains, well, are they the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee? I think so. I'm calling them the Smoky Mountains anyway. They are, it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful area. And the woods. I filmed a video I called Somewhere Near or something like that, or Somewhere Far. And it's just, I can't recommend it enough. Obviously, the border's closed at the moment if you're not in America, but I've always wanted to buy or rent a camper van and just go for a drive around America and go to as many states as I can. I've been to obviously the ones I've mentioned. I've been to New York, and New York was, it was a bit overrated. It was cool to see some of those places, but um, too many people. I went to is it outstate New York or just outside the city? Not far, but that was lovely, and that's it at the moment. I'd love to go to Washington D.C. and see the Capitol building and all that, and of course I got to go to the West Coast, go to California or something like that. I want to go and see the redwood forests in California because they look stunning. Anyway, let's talk about the music. I have literally never said the music before. I meant the songs, doesn't matter. So the album kicks off with Live It Down, which has this really funky bass line in it. It almost sounds like a 70s funk song, but it's brilliant. And Starr's vocals are just fantastic. You Hear Georgia, the title track, absolutely love it. And I love the way that Charlie Starr handles the vocals on the chorus. It's brilliant. Hey Delilah, amazing. I love how he talks about this woman who's got power over his life. It's just fantastic. Ain't the Same is amazing. And with Kay Nelson doing backup vocals, and they sort of do a back and forth on the hook of the song, and it sounds brilliant. Kay Nelson's vocals are stunning. He sounds amazing. He sounds like Waylon Jennings, or it doesn't sound like Johnny Cash, but in that same sort of American accent vein. That maybe it's because I'm British and I don't hear that accent too often, but it just sounds brilliant. Absolutely love it. Lonesome for a Living is amazing. All Rise Again, I love, but the 7th song on the album, Old Enough to Know, it's one of my all-time favourite songs ever. It's gone right up the list, as well as that song from their other album. It's just brilliant. I love the textured instrumentals on the album. I love how simple it is, but it's the lyrics that get me every time, and how Charlie sings about, all these bad things can happen to you, but nobody will ever tell you. Nothing worth a damn happens after 2 a.m. and nobody tells you till you're old enough to know. Absolutely love it, and it really hits a spot with me because there's a lot that nobody told me growing up and going through high school. You don't learn about these things. No one tells you, and then you make these mistakes. And once you've made these mistakes, you then know not to do it again. And it's such a fantastic song. Morning Side, I think that says, is amazing. All Over the Road is great. And Old Scarecrow is amazing. I love the lyrics and the sort of double entendre about an old scarecrow looking out over the field, as well as God looking out over Charlie as he's singing. And that's just fantastic. So it is a country rock album, but there's a lot more classic rock in there than you would find on a regular country album. So in conclusion, this is easily an 8 out of 10. It's not as good as the other album I love, but it's still brilliant. And I'm slowly listening to all their other albums, this band is fantastic. And I think they're one of the best bands to come out of America. And they also prove that rock music is not dead. There are a lot of rock bands nowadays that transition out of rock music into pop music, like Linkin Park. It's just not great. But then bands like this that are keeping the flame alive, and people like Liam Gallagher, who still does rock music, and there's loads. Rock music is not dead. It just needs to update itself a bit. But anyway, back to this. This is fantastic, and listening to music like this, it reminds me of being in America. That's why I keep bringing it up. But if you couldn't tell, I love America. I love going, and it's just so fascinating how big everything is, So I fly from London Heathrow, and then I have to fly to Atlanta, Georgia. It's about a 9-hour flight, 8-hour flight. And then from there, Chris lives in Chattanooga or around the Chattanooga area. So she has to pick me up from Atlanta Airport and then drive to Chattanooga. It's about 2 hours. But going on the freeway and seeing how big and vast America is. It blows my mind. I mean, this state, Georgia, I believe it's bigger than the UK, the whole country I live in, this little island. It blows your mind, but it's such an amazing place. And the food, America has the best food on earth. Well, besides British food, but I have a bias there, I live here. So many amazing restaurants, and I love Mexican food as well, so Mexico is right up there. But what's it called? Oh, hang on. I can't remember what the restaurant's called now, but it was the best food I've ever had. It was a smokehouse. Oh, it wasn't like a chain restaurant, but I can't remember. But just an amazing restaurant, and this sort of music makes me feel good, as well as people like Johnny Cash, Waylon Jennings. I love, bloody hell, I got his album over there. Steve Earle, what's his name? I love Steve Earle too. I think it's just brilliant. So before I sign off, I'm going to be doing a video on Prince's new album, or at least it's called Welcome to America, which is one from his vault. And I've just been learning a lot about Prince, so there'll be a great Prince video soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone.